Hi class, welcome to Research Methods 1. I'm likely your most favorite class of the whole summer. I'm Dr. Shantz. I'm looking forward to working with you during the term, working with research methods topics and building some skills. And I wanted to take this time to go over the syllabus, go over the course design, and invite you to submit questions or email me if you would like to meet and talk about stuff. So, like I said, I'm Dr. Shantz. My office hours this term are going to be by appointment because of being asynchronous. I never know what anyone's schedule is, so just email me and we can always set up a time to talk. On our Canvas area, I'm going to go to Syllabus first, which just gives you a little overview of the class and encourages you to go to the Begin Here module, which has more the full syllabus and all the details. But the syllabus section of Canvas is kind of cool because it lays out the whole course summary in terms of what is due when. And that's kind of nice to have. But let's go to the Begin Here module and we'll begin there. So you got a lot of stuff going on here, and you're going to see that it's very parallel to your syllabus, like the formal syllabus, which is right here. And this is on Canvas as well if you want it like to print it out or have a copy of it. Should basically say the same thing. So if you see something that's different, let me know. Required materials, you need to have the APA publication manual. However, we have a subscription to BibliU at UWF, so you already have it for free. You don't have to go buy it. And then our book that I'm using is also an open education resource item, so you can get to the book by just going to the website and it's available to you. Now, if you want it in print copy, then you have to purchase it. We're going to be using JASP as our statistical analysis program, and it's also open source, so it's free. And during our data work weeks, when we start talking about JASP in more detail, I have a walkthrough for you to get JASP, get it downloaded, get it installed, and start working with it. So you should have no out-of-pocket expenses in terms of materials because all of these are free. Okay. Now you do have to use a lot of Canvas and a lot of technology because that's where we're working in everything. So if you're having any trouble with working with the technology, please let the ITS help desk know. Sometimes I get the question about, hey, but I don't have MS Word or I don't have Excel, and several of our documents are in those Microsoft products, but all UWF students have free access to the Microsoft Office products. So if you don't know that or you don't know how to get it on your machine, that's the link you want to follow and get more information or get help from the IT desk. You do want to check your Canvas often so that you're up to speed on things going on. Okie dokie, let me move over to our Canvas area. A lot of this is the stuff that's in your syllabus as well. Like that's the link to the book. This is the same information about Canvas and technology that was in your syllabus. And then we go into what are the requirements of the course. So we'll start with assessments like the quizzes and exams. You're going to have chapter quizzes. We have 9 or 10, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we skip up to 12 and 13, 9. You have 9 chapters that we're working with on this term. And they're arranged in 3 modules, which I'll show you in Canvas as well. And the exams, we have a module exam for each one of those 3 modules, and then a final exam that's going to be open during finals week. And you can use your final exam to replace one of the mod exams if the final exam has a higher score. And the tricky part of the exams is that even though they're kind of quiz-based, so your chapter quizzes, you'll see those items again in the exams, but also exams include more short answer or problem-solving types of questions, and those are coming from your assignments and the material that is resources in your Canvas areas. So maybe computation or some data work or a short written response. So those are going to be, you'll have your quiz type items, but then also short answer type items in the module exams. Whereas the final exam does not have any extras, any of those short answer types. It's only quiz type questions, and but it's from anywhere in the book, like all the chapters we cover. Next, let's look at your participation area, your participation score. Your main area for getting participation points is going to be your chapter question and answer discussion boards. So that's where I have you read the material first and then post a question that you would like more clarification about. You need to let us know on the discussion board where in the text or in the Canvas area your question comes from. So here's my question and here's where I saw information about it, either in your textbook or in Canvas. If you have no questions about the material, great, and you should answer one of your classmates' questions. So you should be contributing to the discussion boards every chapter, either with a question you have or answering a classmate's question, or both. The more you get involved, the more you learn, both as a receiver and a giver of information. Again, if you provide an answer to your classmate, you want to provide information where in the chapter or where you found the answer, if the answer that you're providing to your classmate. Now the assignments is where we have a lot of work to do. We have 16 assignments to work through during the term, and this is a lot of work. So it's very similar to what I do in the face-to-face course. The difference is in the face-to-face course, we do some assignments as in-class activities, so they're kind of shorter. Whereas for your online work, everything is an assignment because we don't have in-class time, right? So looking through these, we're going to do a lit search. I'm going to have you create a cheat sheet for APA, do your city certification. There's 3 article summaries and 3 discussion board topics. We'll have an intro to data work, qualitative coding skill building, creating a survey online, and doing some data work like computing mean and standard deviation, doing a sample description of participants, conducting a few basic tests like correlations tests and t-tests, and then it all comes together in a final data project. And that's something I want to go into more with you on in a minute. A lot of these assignments go into the final data project as well. Each assignment has its own little Canvas area with a rubric, and each one also has like a video walkthrough so that you can see, you have like directions, but you also have a video walkthrough to kind of help see how you can approach the assignment efficiently and effectively. Otherwise, I have some resources here, like APA writing resources, and I'm going to go back to the module so you can see the full outlay. So we're just moving through this. We did assignments. You have resources for writing. Here's an example or some extra resources for writing summaries and critiques. We have an extra credit opportunity with doing PRP, or also called SONA, and that's due by the end of the term. If you're not familiar with SONA, basically you have a PRP account as a UWF student. You might have to set it up the first time. You go to this website to do that. And I'm offering up to 5 points that are of extra credit. So each Argo point you earn is equal to 1 extra credit point, up to 5. And those are going to end, that opportunity ends. That's the articles. This one's the studies. Here's your deadlines for summer PRP. And you should look at it right away. Sometimes studies don't come up at the very beginning of the term, but check on it again like a week or two in, and check periodically to see if there's some active studies for you to get involved with. And even if you're not eligible for a particular study, you can also do the corresponding article, like another article summary, but this goes to SONA, and then they give you the Argo credit for doing the writing. So check it out. It's a good opportunity to get involved in research, and it gets you some extra credit as well. Back to modules here. Grade tracking. So how does this all come together to comprise your final grade in research methods? Well, we have our quizzes and our mod exams and the final exam are all here in assessments. Participation is here in the green area, and then assignments, like those 16 assignments, are all attributed here to the purple area. And that's how they break down points wise. Like you have 9 chapter quizzes, 10 points each, so there are 90 points, that kind of thing. And again, the final exam will take the place of one of your module exams if your final exam is higher, right? And all of our assignments, so a total potential of 690 points. And how does that play out? The next page is the grading scale. So anywhere as you keep accruing your points, this is how it would break down grade-wise. Now, late work, if you miss a deadline, you have up to 1 week, but it comes at a cost. You have a 50% lateness penalty. So as soon as you're late, it's 50% you're not going to have, right? But 50% is better than 0. So the best thing to do is have your stuff in on time, period. But if it does work out that, hey, I didn't see that this was due and I missed it, get it in immediately. If it's within a week, you're still able to earn 50% of that score. Now, after a week late, it's not accepted. You would need to be accommodated for some situation to have an after 1 week deadline lateness, okay? Again, that's just the late policy again. And like I said, if you feel your situation should be reviewed because it's going to take more than 1 week past the deadline, you should be talking to Case Management Services and letting me know as well. Okay. All right, one thing with our data project, this is how it comes together. What I use is a scenario which gives us some context for all those assignments. Well, not all the assignments, but a lot of them. And what we do, we are like research assistants to Professor Bob here. He's a research methods instructor, and he is doing a study, and we're helping him out. And we're able to use this context for a lot of our assignments. So we follow our research-based storyline of the fictional character, an RM instructor, Professor Bob. And his question that he's asking right now is, what are students' perceptions of research methods? And ultimately, he thinks that his class is going to perform better at the end of the term after, his awesome teaching, of course. So in other words, he feels there's going to be a significant difference in students' scores, their scores of how they perceive research methods, when compared from the beginning of term to the end of the term. And we're working with him through the whole research process on this kind of small, structured research study, let's say. Here's the assignments that go into the final data project, which is this project. It's us helping Professor Bob with his research. And all of this is part of the research process. So we're using his situation as a context for us. Let's go back to modules for a second, because I think that's the end of our begin here. Now, once you have done the getting to know you, I kind of use it for the UWF attendance, but it's a discussion board. I have a few questions here, and I want you to choose one to answer. Do you expect this course to be super challenging or somewhat easy? Why? Or what is the most intimidating thing about a research methods course? Or when was your last was your last statistics course? Like how long ago and in which department did you take it in? Feel free to reply to your classmates as well. This is a great place to start making connections and establishing a cohort, if you will, or a class level working relationship so that you can have study partners or talk about any kind of thing that's being challenging. While we're on challenging, let me open up the discussion boards itself. This Q&A area is where I'm going to look for any questions that you're running into that are particularly challenging, like anything about the course at all. And as you post things here, I'll answer it, or maybe another student has found a way to get around whatever obstacle you're hitting. So I highly recommend posting a lot of questions here, and I check this first, and then because my email gets pretty bogged down, but email me, of course, but it helps to put your question here as well. Alrighty, you have to finish this getting to know you discussion to be able to open the next module. So here, getting to know you is how you open the Mod 1 foundation. So that's where our chapter material starts. In fact, let me go to student view so you can see what I'm talking about here. So here, everyone has access to the Begin Here module, but then see how this one's grayed out? It's because you have to finish Begin Here. And the thing you have to finish is, you see where it says submit there? That's how you know that that is the prerequisite to getting this module done, is when you see that something has to be done with that item. So you have to finish getting to know you, and it's due May 19th. You have to finish that to be able to open this one, because you had to finish Begin Here to open Foundations. And all of the modules are like that. You have to finish the stuff within a module to be able to open the next module. So I didn't make it date specific, like this will open once you have your prior modules work done. It's not date specific. What is date specific is the mod exams. They're going to open on the last weekend of like a module in the schedule, and they'll open on like a Thursday and they're due by Monday at 5. All assignments are due pretty much Monday at 5 unless it's a holiday, and then it's Tuesday at 5. So don't let that sneak up on you. It's not an 11:59 kind of thing. If you have to work in the evenings, do it the day before. Okay, so you have 3 modules, and they will open as long as you have the prior work done for them. The mod exams are on a schedule, and the final exam is on a schedule. But let's look at this last project, the data project. So this is the one for the whole term, and I'm still in student view right now, so you have access to this from day one. This is not shut out from you, but you're building it throughout the term. Like I said, a lot of those assignments go into this last data project here, and this is the one that's worth 80 points. So it's your pull it all together writing, like stuff from the whole course is used in here. In fact, you want to take a look at this data project starter. It's like a pre-template, and it lets you know not only where things go, but what assignment they came from. Let me show you what I mean. Like you have an assignment called Article Summary 1, and writing this part of this paper comes from that assignment. So you do the assignment, you turn it in, you get feedback on it, and then you're able to fill in that section. Same thing here. These are based on assignments that we're doing during the term. So as you do an assignment, you want to go ahead and start looking at where does this fit in to what I need for this last paper. And that way when you get to the end of the term, you pretty much have the whole thing written. Okay, I'm going to leave student view and go back to the modules. So we got begin here. This is how a module looks. I put the assignments in where you can see them easily. And here's our chapter material. And the way a chapter page is laid out, when you go into it, you have these tabs along the top. The overview, it's kind of the same except for the outcomes of the chapter, and like this first part is different for each chapter. But your strategy for working with the class is right here. First, go check out the materials I have for you. Read and make yourself a little outline of the chapter. That's a good thing to do every time. Then get involved. Get involved with whatever activities I have planned, whatever discussions and assignments are there, and see if you have a place to connect with your classmates. The textbook at the end has key takeaways and exercises that are helpful too. And then you want to make sure you've completed the assignments that are associated with each chapter. And that's all on this overview tab. In the resources tab is where you have the lecture and lab materials. I have the PowerPoint for the chapter. There's a link to the video, and the videos are on YouTube, but they're unlisted. So you have to go to them through this link. I'll go ahead and go to one so you can see what it looks like. Hi class. There you go. Welcome to Research Methods. We're doing our highlights for Chapter 2. And they tend to run around a half an hour or less. I don't have many going over half an hour on your chapter talks. But they're right there on each of your chapter pages. You can get the lecture video and the PowerPoint to that chapter. And you also have information usually about your assignments associated with that chapter. And if there's some additional resources, I put them in there too, but that's not anything that's going to be assessed like on a quiz or a test or anything. It's more like interesting things that are related to that area. And then the deliverable tabs has a easy way to get to all of the assignments associated here. So you can get to your chapter quiz, you can get to the discussion board for that chapter, and any of the other assignments associated with that chapter. So when you are looking at your assignments, there's a video walkthrough for most of them. There might be one or two that don't have a video. And if there's any steps or lab sheet, any materials you need for doing that assignment, they're going to be available right there in the assignment as well. You have what needs to be turned in, and you have a rubric which gives you an idea how this assignment is going to be assessed. So that's kind of the rundown of how each of these pages flows. Like if I go back to modules and I just take another chapter page, it's still going to be the overview, the resources, and the deliverables. Let's see, what else do I have here? The final is going to be open the last week of the term, the finals week. So it's going to open on August 7th, and it's due by that Friday at 5 p.m. It closes out. You get 2 hours for it, and it contains material from all the chapters, but it doesn't have any of the extras that you see on the module exams. Let's take a look at the module exams. So a module exam is not going to open until the Thursday, which is the end of the week. It's going to be open the weekend of that module scheduled close. Does that make sense? I'll show you on the calendar shortly. So here you have about 30 test bank items, and then you also have problem-solving questions created from our assignments, and you'll usually have like 4 of those, anywhere 2 to 5 of these extras, and they do take more time. So you need to figure out, strategize your timing there, because you get a 75-minute window, and the module is going to open on Thursday, close on Sunday. Now I think I changed that to Monday. It's going to close on Monday at 5. Okay? I'm going to change it now. What else do we have here? Let me look back at our syllabus. Quiz, exam, final, participation, assignments. That's our same grade tracking and grading schedule. And then the course schedule, it's easiest to see that on Canvas. That's what we wanted to look at. Slowly. Turn off that class. There we go. So this is what we're looking at. You got your Getting to Know You discussion board, and remember, everything's due at 5 p.m. We have chapter quiz and the discussion board right there, and that's on Monday. This one's on Tuesday because Monday's a holiday. So your chapter 2 and your homework literature search and your chapter 2 quiz. So discussion board, quiz, and homework lit search. That week that's on Tuesday only because Monday's a holiday. And then let's look at June. Again, Mondays at 5 is when everything from the prior week is due. So this whole week right here on June 5th through the 10th, I'm expecting you to be working on chapter 4 stuff. And chapter 4 is the end of a module, so that means the mod exam is coming up. It's going to open on the Thursday and be due by the following Monday. So calendar is super helpful there. What else do we have? I think that is it. Let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, you can post on the discussion board for course Q&A, or you can send me an email. Either way. And I think that's it. Definitely look around Canvas, see if you have any questions, and I look forward to working with you this term.